remember in 2008 when the original Kung Fu Panda came out, and like everyone my age at the time went and saw that movie, and we were all singing, "Everybody's Kung Fu fighting." Huh. Like, we all sung that song, and now we're in 2024, and we have a fourth Kung Fu Panda. I did not expect to go this far. Kung Fu Panda 4 stars Jack Black, Awkwafina, and Viola Davis. And so after Po is tapped to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, he needs to find and train a new dragon warrior, while a wicked sorcerer plans to resummon all the master villains. Now, many of you could make the case that the original Kung Fu Panda trilogy is the best trilogy DreamWorks has ever given us. Me personally, How to Train Your Dragon, I love me some Shrek movies, especially the first two, but I have to respect the Kung Fu Panda movies. That title alone, you think, oh, that's for babies, kiddish movies. That first movie is dope as hell. Second one is great. It's a great animated movie. The third one is very good end trilogy point. I've only seen it twice. I haven't seen it in a while, but that was 8 years ago, and here we are in the fourth movie. And you know what? I had fun with this movie. I really did. I think for a fourth installment in this franchise, they give you enough in this movie. You're like, you know what? I was entertained. I still love Jack Black as Po, obviously. And the animation, let's start off with the positives. The animation is freaking it's just really good. DreamWorks Animation Studios is regarded as one of the best out there, and they continue to show why. The animation is just really good. And a reason people don't always talk about cinematography in animated movies is they don't get shown off and talked about enough. This is a movie where I feel like people should talk about cinematography in animated movies. The action scenes are really good, and some of the camera work and angles they do with our entire world we are in with Po and all these characters, it's really, really well done. The director, the writers just knew what they were doing with this character and the entire universe, and you can just tell, like, love is put into this animation and these action scenes, which are just big and awesome, honestly. Like, they are really fun action scenes. Jack Black as Po, it's Jack Black. Who hates Jack Black? I want to know out there who hates Jack Black, because he's a great guy in real life. He loves playing Po, and you can see it on the screen and behind the scenes. Awkwafina, it's Awkwafina. If you do not like Awkwafina, you are not going to like her in this movie. That's all I can say. I enjoy Awkwafina, but I get the reasoning why. Viola Davis, I'll say this. Viola Davis plays our villain in this movie. I didn't really care for her. The only reason she's cool is she can turn into our old villains from the trilogy. Now, I know there's spoilers out there. I don't want to really get into it, obviously. But obviously, you know, Ian McKellen's character from the first one is in this movie. And she turns into him. And it's really cool. You get to see him back in the action. And that's fun and all. There's other stuff in the movie. But hey, this movie does show that, like, they care about the universe, I would say. They give you what the audience wants to see, these original villain. But, like, her villain is just that. Like, her entire reasoning of being a villain, all that kind of stuff, it's throw under the bridge kind of stuff. Like, you've seen it 100 times. Overall, the story is very predictable, but lots of movies are predictable, and this is definitely a kid-friendly movie. I think if you have kids or you have a family, go and see this movie, for sure. Especially if you're a Kung Fu Panda fan, go see this movie. Like, I enjoyed the movie, but my best comparison to this movie, driving home, I was like, what can I compare this movie to? A lot of people like doing that. This is the Toy Story 4 in the Kung Fu Panda franchise. The first 3 Toy Stories are great. The fourth one, I really like and is a good movie. It feels like an outsider. It doesn't feel necessary. Same thing here. The original trilogy of Kung Fu Panda is a nice packed trilogy. Like, the Furious 5, they're not in this movie. Like, that was the original trilogy. This new movie feels like they're trying to reboot the franchise in a way with some new characters. Obviously, he's finding someone else to be the Dragon Warrior. Like, it feels like a setup movie. It feels like movies are trying to, like, just maybe make like a spin-off TV show. Like, it feels like a movie it's setting up for spin-offs. I could be totally wrong, but that's what it just feels like. It feels more like a cash grab because the movie doesn't have as much heart and, like, soul as the other 3. Like, those other 3 movies, I mean, that second one for sure felt like an impactful story for adults and kids. This one felt more for kids. That's the best way I can say it. But as an adult, you can for sure enjoy this movie, and it just feels like an outsider compared to the other trilogy. It's definitely my least favorite because of just the story's very weak, the villain's very weak, but you get great action, you get great animation, you get Jack Black. That's enough for me to keep that going. It's fine and dandy. I enjoyed 90 minutes of another Kung Fu Panda movie. I'm gonna give Kung Fu Panda 4 a B. So, with that being said, no longer a Kung Fu Panda trilogy, do you consider Kung Fu Panda the best franchise for DreamWorks? Now there's no more trilogy. Anyway, guys, enjoy this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.